Alright guys, so I just want to give a little context really quick before I show you this vlog. So in this incredibly cool place where I met a guy who actually knew my YouTube channel and hooked me up with a frickin' one sheet of Blood Beach. He had music playing really loud, like all cool store owners do. Like they'll play loud music in the store to kind of kill that awkward silence when maybe there's one or two people walking around the store and you just hear the sound of their footsteps. Nah, he was a cool dude. Long story short though, you know, I found this place on accident. I'd been there before, but this guy wasn't there. And he took over this section of this flea market where he had tons of DVDs, horror VHS tapes. I grabbed some VHS tapes. I grabbed Blood Beach, and I grabbed a vintage, it's a mid-2000s CRT that's HDMI, and it also had VHS and DVD. I needed it for my other movie room. And I test all that out, and we talk for a few minutes. You guys are going to dig this a lot, but the scenes that have loud music playing over the clips, I'm going to overdub it and kind of talk you guys through what's going on. It's not all the clips, don't worry, but I'm going to overdub it to explain what I'm looking at and the things I'm seeing, because I just don't want it to be that weird music sound where it's like bow, that plays when everybody does vlogs. I hate that. I'm hoping you do too, because I can't stand listening to that. I'm assuming you'd rather listen to me talk. So I'm going to shut up. Let's go check this stuff out, guys, and I'm going to show you a picture of my new, or my old, original one sheet of freaking Blood Beach. Enjoy the show, guys, and then we'll look at the poster at the end. All right, so Little Dust in the Wind is playing, and basically I walk in this place, and it's a giant flea market, but this guy pretty much got this whole section, and it's nothing but cool stuff. And of course, that's the first thing I see when I walk in there is that Blood Beach poster. But there's this gigantic wall of VHS tapes, and when you first walk in a place like this, you kind of just get overwhelmed, and you don't really know where to start. So you're just, it's like an earthquake's going on around you. You just keep turning in circles, looking at everything. And I used to collect all that when I was a kid, the Pokemon cards. I grew up with those, so really cool seeing those and all these old toys. I saw a Gumby toy that I kind of wanted, but I was like, no, I don't need Gumby. But yeah, this place was really cool, and there was some really cool video game stuff we're going to look at. Really cool retro video game stuff. There's an Alien Resurrection poster that I might go back and get. That is a, I think it was a theater poster. It might have been a video store poster, but that was an original. For sure, I knew that. The only thing, he did put these up on tax, but most of these were in really rough condition anyway, so I can understand why. Like I said, guys, not every clip is going to have me dubbed over, but when I saw that Living Nightmare from, like, 1986 clip, or that makeup kit, it looked like it was, you know, something from A Nightmare on Elm Street for a second, and yeah, I got mesmerized by that Nintendo cart, but you're going to hear him talk in a second about how he ended up with that, and that thing is from the 80s. And I found the Sleepaway Camp movies and Jaws CEDs, but we're going to talk, I asked him about those Sleepaway Camp movies and stuff. But like I said, loud music was playing right here, so I just can't play these clips with the I can't play them with the audio yet. But just take it all in. Like I was just freaking out at this point, and the guy saw me videoing, and he said he knew who I was. So I think at first he was probably looking at me like, is this who I think it is? While I was doing all this, and I guess once I started filming, he probably really figured it out. So at this point, I finally get my wits about me after I've looked at everything a little bit, and I'm like, all right, I'm pretty much retired from buying VHS tapes, but there are always, of course, some that I'm still dying to own. So I already knew I wanted that Blood Beach poster if the price was right. And I was just looking at some VHS tapes. I was like, oh, that's cool. There's Jeepers Creepers, and there's Night of the Living Dead. And I think right then and there I knew yeah. I didn't put that one down. Because I'd been looking for that tape for a long time. And you could buy that on eBay, but why? That ruins the fun. You know how excited I was right then and there when I found that Night of the Living Dead Blockbuster Presents? I've always wanted it. I've always wanted that tape. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, well, that's coming home with me if I don't get anything else. But it's actually a good selection of tapes. I'm going to come back over here in a while and grab a few more. Because I saw some stuff that I was like, oh, wow. And of course, you can see H2O. I don't know why I grabbed that. There's other stuff I could have pulled down to show you guys, but yeah, here I am talking about Blood Beach again. I'm like, I really want it. So yeah, pretty cool. And you know, it was a lot to take in. You know, I don't have the stuff that often by me, so to find it, It's cool. My buddy Brandon loves that movie, The Witches of Eastwick. Loves that damn movie. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. I think dogs. Yeah, there's Dog Soldiers right there. I remember seeing that. I kept looking at the damn wrestling tapes though. I don't know what my problem was. It's Death Wish 3. I'm seeing it right now. I wonder if I grabbed that. I really don't remember. We're about to find out. No, I guess not. I might have gone back and looked at it though, but yeah, you see, when I saw that Night of the Living Dead, guys, I didn't put that down. I got it tucked under my arm right now while I'm filming because I wanted it so bad. Of course, you know, I was looking for the Elm Street VHS box set, but I gave the guy my number, and he was like, dude, if there's anything you want, please, you know, give me your info, and I'll call you. You know, which he's going to try to hook me up. My Laserdisc player broke, so he's going to try to hook me up with a Laserdisc player. But there's Andrew Dice Clay. I think I grabbed that, too. Yeah, I did. And I have it with me, of course. So, yeah, I love Andrew Dice Clay. My dad used to watch his shows when I was little. They were so raunchy, man. He's actually a really sweet, nice guy in his old age, too. I like Andrew. Really sweet guy. I watch him on TikTok. He's funny. He goes up to people like, you want a picture with me? And they don't recognize him, and they're like, no. And they think he's just some, like, crazy old man. But, yeah, cool stuff. I think I saw... Am I going to look at Blood Beach again? No. Hard Target. Yeah. Good selection. Like I said, guys, just a really good selection of VHS tapes. I think I grabbed that. Yeah, I know I grabbed it. I took that home with. There we go. Put that on the stack. Yeah, the Conan one was cool, man, because that was an old... a lot of times the original releases for the VHS tapes probably had the best art, and they were probably the best tapes because the tapes were made more expensively during the first runs as opposed to, like, in the 90s, I think they did a lot of SLP stuff, especially, like, Treasure Video or whatever it's called. Good Times as well. So if you find the original releases for a lot of the movies, those tapes are usually the better ones, I think. You know, unlike Laserdisc, where in the 90s, like a lot of the movies that came out in the 70s and 80s, they'd put it back out in the 90s on widescreen letterboxed. But I think it was the opposite a lot of times, in not every time, of course, but sometimes. Look how faded that Van Halen concert VHS is. Yeah. Here I'm looking at the damn wrestling tape again. I'm talking during all this, but like I'm kind of yelling, and the music's just cranked loud, so I can't use the clip, y'all, because the audio was messed up as well as copyright. How do you even get that? Is that yours? Did somebody bring that in?
Which one?
The Blood Beach.
That came in the same collection as those other posters. It was a guy who used to work in the movie theater, and he just brought me a ton of stuff all at once.
It's crazy.
Now, did you see the kind of tear in it?
Yeah, down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Sure. In that same collection was a first print Star Wars poster and a Barbarella poster.
Oh, I bet those sold for a lot of money too then.
Barbarella went to a buddy who was helping me dig through the collection. And then the Star Wars one, unfortunately, was stuck to itself, so I had to rip it in half to get to it.
Oh.
But still sold it for, I think, $20.
How long have you been here? Because
I took over 2 years ago.
It's. I wasn't expecting this when I came in here today, because I've been trying to find a. I redid one of my rooms where I was going to try to play all my old Nintendo games and stuff, and sure enough, I hadn't been in here in a long time, and I kept having no luck at Goodwill and stuff. All right, guys, so right here, we're testing out the TV that I was getting. Like I said, this is a widescreen CRT with a VHS and DVD in it. And, of course, we're playing Night of the Living Dead to see if it works. And he was, at this point, I think he knew who I was. We had talked about it. And so I was like, oh, yeah, man, let's put in Night of the Living Dead. And I had to rewind it here a little bit because I wanted to see the movie. And right there, I'm feeling the static on the TV. we were laughing at that. But, yeah, great movie. And like I said, I'd play the audio over this clip, but Foo Fighters was cranked up. So here we go. There it is, guys. Night of the Living Dead, VHS. So I think this is the last audio clip I need to do, though, guys. So thank you for bearing with me. But I was happy with that. I lied. I just wanted to insert this to show you what I got. Teen Wolf 2 on VHS. Look how cool that is. I got the Andrew Dice Clay concert. I got Conan and my Night of the Living Dead. There it is. He was putting it back up for me. God, it's so cool. Look at that. I just want to eat pizza and watch that on a Friday night. And Conan the Barbarian. And then I got my Blood Beach folded, which is the way I prefer my originals, not rolled.
Matthew Lillard was there. I got him to sign a sealed copy of Scooby-Doo.
Sealed?
Sealed.
So do you get into the grading, or you kind of keep it simple like this?
So I graded one tape, and it was a sealed Star Wars first print, and flipped it for $2,000.
Oh my God.
And
how much is the grading process? How much does that cost?
So I did it 2 years ago, and it was, I think, $30-$40 for a movie.
So people like is there like a market of people that prefer to buy graded tapes as
if
opposed
you're looking
to
as an investment, sure. There's also a huge population that's against it because it's such a new market, especially for VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Now, grading comics and cards, that's been a thing for a long time.
Right.
The tapes market's 2 years old, if that. And there's a huge disparaging population that goes against it.
Do you know who VHScollector.com is?
Yep.
Paul Zamorelli. He hates it.
Mm-hmm. I only did it that once just to have the experience. I probably am not going to do it again.
Yeah. Dude, that's so cool. I'm so glad I came in today, dude.
Yeah, bud.
All right. Let me pay and I'll get out of here. So, guys, very cool day. Found this awesome place with movies. They're going to look for a Laserdisc player for me. And I found somebody that actually knows my channel for once, so that's cool. All right, guys, so check it. It's obviously, I got it very cheap. It is worn. Obviously, you can see the holes right there, but I got to be honest. I'm not trying to say this because this is the one I got, but this gives it the character. Obviously, this one is going to go in a frame, and I'm just going to suck it up, even though I like to change out posters. This one's not going to come out, right? I'm going to keep this, I'm going to keep this framed up because it is very delicate. The paper's not like brittle. But what I love about some of these older movies, guys, that you may not remember is there was competition at Technicolor back then. And John Carpenter was actually somebody that used it back then too. If you look right here, it'll say Metro Color. They used to do the color grading for movies, and so it's always cool to me when you see some of these movies that were done by Metro Color instead of Technicolor. But if you look at the cast of this movie, you'll be surprised. John Saxon's in there. You've also got Burt Young. And this is from 1980. This is a one sheet of Blood Beach, and it is a work of art. I'm just, the city was not expecting me to come home with this today. But then again, neither was I. But you got to admit, guys, I mean, finding this stuff in the wild, you will never get the same visceral excitement than you get when you pay for it online on eBay. To find this in a store and bring it home, I'm never going to forget this. I'm never going to forget it. And the vibrancy and the colors, that's what's incredible about this. You know an original when you see it. And you know it when you've got those perfect creases right down the middle and then the side. Like, I love that, right? So, and up here it says, the 5 people believed to have drowned here never even made it past the sand. So, just a classic poster. 1980, lost on physical media. Hopefully we're going to change that soon. But there it is, guys. Blood Beach, one sheet. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.